Okay, I'm going to give a quick review here of quiz number 3, and remember to use this as a study guide for our midterm. Okay, question number 1. Nozick concludes from the experience machine that D, we care about more than how things feel from the inside. If that were all we cared about, we'd go into the machine. So that's the conclusion there. I think that's pretty interesting. We might reflect on what that really tells us about happiness. How might that potentially change our conception of happiness or how we go about pursuing it? I mean, quite often we might hear ourselves saying, I want to feel like blank, I want to feel like this, that, or the other, but maybe that's not really what we want, even though we find ourselves saying that, or it's not the entirety of what we want. We do want to feel good, but we want these good feelings to be appropriate responses to the reality that makes that the appropriate thing to feel. So we want that fit between intense positive feelings and the reality which makes them warranted. So that's what we want to achieve, that pairing. Okay. Question number 2. There was a little problem with this. So to fix that, I am planning that I'll make this quiz out of 9 points. I don't know how this happened, but the question stem for question number 2 is missing. I think a lot of people got it right anyways, because B, that any change in your well-being is a change in your beloved's well-being, and they thus have a right to some decision-making power in choices that affect your well-being. That is a pretty clear statement of why love limits autonomy. So that should have been the question step. Why does love limit autonomy? B. Okay. Question 3. The essence of love, according to Nozick, this should be pretty straightforward, is C, when your well-being is tied to that of someone or something you love. See a little typo there, your love. Okay, question 4. According to Nozick, to be loved for yourself is to be loved for A, the qualities that constitute your self-identity. Says that pretty straightforwardly. Question 5, which of the following is not one of the 3 forms of happiness discussed by Nozick? That would be A, ignorance is bliss. While that may or may not be true, he doesn't say that. Okay. Question 6, is true or false? Being satisfied with your life as a whole, the 3rd form of happiness, involves the feeling that nothing of importance is missing from your life right now, a feeling of completeness. That is exactly his description of the 2nd form of happiness, being happy now. And maybe the tip there, the clue, was that I included in there that nothing of importance is missing from your life right now. And clearly, to be satisfied with our life as a whole, we need to have more than good, groovy feelings about our life right now. Although, that's good, but okay, so that would be false. Question 6, false. Question 7. Nozick concludes from the upward and downward sloping curves that we care about more than just the amount of happiness our lives contain. That is true. That's exactly what he concludes. Interestingly enough, that conclusion follows whether or not we choose life A or life B. Either one we choose, we're committed to that conclusion. The only way you wouldn't be committed to that conclusion is if you didn't have any preference. Okay. Question 8. According to Nozick, love requires that we experience every preference of our beloveds as our own preference. That's false. Nozick clearly, and I think happily, meaning happy for his theory, it's a good thing for his theory, distinguishes mere preferences from well-being and says the only things that we have to kind of be doing this with, be directly connected to, is our beloved's well-being, not every single preference. Imagine that if being in a we required you to be this kind of symmetrical, appropriate response to every passing preference, satisfaction, or frustration thereof, my God, you wouldn't be able to have your own conscious life. So the answer to that is false. Question 9, Nozick says that while in a we should always have a willingness to trade up to a different partner that has the qualities we like to a higher degree than our current partner. Now, despite the prevalence of that willingness, or maybe having one eye open, which happens, Nozick certainly is not saying that we should carry that willingness and open eye in a we. And in fact, he seems to suggest that if you have that willingness, you're not really in the we. So definitely that would be false. Question 10. Nozick defines pleasure as something we value for its felt qualities. It's true. Okay, so that is quiz number 3. See ya. Happy St. Paddy's Day.